What about Andy Dalton, man? No,
yeah,
no love for Andy Dalton.
Last year?
You know good and damn well I didn't have Andy Dalton.
You had him like right at the
Come on, B. You know I have Andy Dalton in my top 10.
Yeah,
They had that number 11.
like how you
One thing we have to keep in mind is that, and we talked about it on the show.
But at the same time, it comes from two different points.
Then all of a sudden you want to say, oh, well, you know.
I think for me, I don't know if I can speak for everybody else.
This is DeadEndSports.
What's up, everybody? You're watching a new video, a new DeadEndSports video. It's football, man, and we, just like we did last year, we're bringing you our top 10 quarterbacks, our top 10 positions. We're gonna rank them. We're starting out with the quarterbacks, and then we're gonna do the receivers, running backs. Same thing like we did last year. Before I get into it, subscribe to the channel. We got more content coming. Also, I'm trying something new. Tell me if you like it. I'm posting excerpts from the podcast onto the channel, like 15-20 minutes. It's just the audio, but it's showing you guys what you missed, because if you're not tuned into the weekly show, you're missing out, because that's where a lot of the yelling and cursing take place. We don't curse on this channel. So just giving you guys a taste of what you missed, so make sure you tune in every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, blogtalkradio.com/DeadEndSports. I am not doing this alone. To my left, it's 12 Kyle.
What up, what up?
Beside him, FIFO. We got the 430. You weren't doing that when you fell.
It's the Heisman 430.
Make sure you run that clip back.
Don't even run that. Last year, man. We talking about last year. This is Heisman 430 here.
Heisman 430. Hashtag Heisman 430. This is a new season. Last season was eventful. Off season was eventful as well. You know, and we're gonna do our quarterbacks. How? Last year, you made the headlines.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With Eli Manning in your top 10.
Yeah, Eli let me down.
Did he?
Yeah, did you see him play last year? He let me down. But this year, I got my top 10. Starting off at number 10, I got Cameron Newton. At number 10, number 9, Joe Flacco, that's your boy. Much to your delight. Number 7, Peyton Manning. He's falling off. Number 6, Anthony Romo. Number 5, Drew Brees. Number 4, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Number 3, Mr. Deflator, Tom Brady. Number 2, Andrew Luck. And number 1, Aaron Rodgers.
Real quick, I want to give Q, at Q Got No Rings on Twitter. He's the 6th man. He fills in for us. Whenever one of us can't make the show, he fills in. So it's only right that we list his top 10 because he's a part of the show. So real quick, I'm gonna reel this off. Starting with number 1, Rodgers, Brady, Roethlisberger, Luck, Manning, Wilson, Romo, Flacco, Rivers, and Stafford. That's his 10. Who you got, FIFO?
Oh, you know what? I skipped one. I don't know how to skip number 8. Number 8 was Russell Wilson. I'm sorry.
Okay.
When I did my top 10, I had to go back because I had Peyton kind of low, like really low. But I'll just go through my list. Number 10, I got Matt Ryan. Number 9, I got Russell Wilson. Number 8, I got Ben Roethlisberger. Number 7, I got Drew Brees. Number 6, I got Eli Manning. Number 5, I got Tony Romo. Number 4, I got Peyton Manning. Number 3, I got Andrew Luck. Number 2, I got Tom Brady. Number 1, I got Aaron Rodgers.
Number 10, I got Cam Newton. Number 9, I have Matt Ryan. Number 8, I have Tony Romo. Number 7, I have Russell Wilson. Number 6, Ben Roethlisberger. Number 5, Drew Brees. 4, Peyton Manning. 3, Tom Brady. 2, Andrew Luck. 1, Aaron Rodgers.
This is actually interesting because we have the list is definitely diverse. Here's my 10, man. This was tough, but I'm doing like last year in projections. Believe it or not, I got Eli Manning in my top 10.
Wow.
I have Eli Manning in my top 10.
I think I know why you probably got him. But go ahead.
We'll get to it. Yeah. Number 9 is Russell Wilson.
Who's number 10?
Eli.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm counting down. Russell Wilson is 9. Cam Newton is 8. Drew Brees 7. Ben Roethlisberger is 6. He wasn't on my list last year. Tony Romo is 5th. Brady is 4. Manning 3rd. Rodgers is 2nd. I got Andrew Luck as my #1 quarterback.
Okay.
Heading into 2015.
See, but here's the thing with this list as well. It's not concrete. It's very fluid. Like, this is going into the season.
But I mean, it's same as what we did for basketball.
Of course, but it's going into the season. Toward the end of the season, our lists aren't going to be the same. Maybe the top 3 will be the same. They might fluctuate, but you know, I'm just saying, because a lot of times people be, oh, well, how did look, man, look.
Okay, so let me be the first to ask. How did Eli make both of your lists? Because I couldn't find a reason to put him in my top 10.
Is it because of Victor Cruz and Beckham? Him having the weapons back?
and who's the Randall on the outside?
Ruben Randall.
Them boys got weapons. And what did I say last year? Eli is great every other. This is that year he's going to be great.
But he kind of had a strong outing. The last quarter of this past season, he had finished strong without Victor Cruz. So.
Right. He struggled when Victor Cruz was in the game. He struggled a few games when Odell Beckham came back.
Right.
But after that,
that's what I'm saying. He was clicking.
Odell Beckham clearly was the difference maker.
No question.
For Eli last year.
I can see why. I definitely see why y'all.
I'm gonna even take it a step further. He also has Shane Vereen. We know he's a pass catching weapon out of the backfield. And Rashad Jennings, he can do the same. He's loaded. Larry Donald.
The thing is though, the Giants have just been banged up on the O-line. That's one, and I know
he didn't take that many sacks.
Well, I'm talking about coming into this season right here. They still have some key injuries and some new guys up front.
And while I agree, we already know the way that you kind of overcome a bad O-line is quick passes.
Right.
And they have the weapons now to get those quick passes. And they got the guy out there that you can't leave him one-on-one. Because if you do, and I get you with this play action, quick pump over here, it's over. It's touchdown city. I just got to throw it in the vicinity. Right. So even though they have their deficiencies, I think with a quarterback like Eli, that's Super Bowl, battle-tested, you know what I'm saying, what else do you want them to do? They can overcome that. I really do.
Yeah, he beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl. We don't care how he won. Brady won Super Bowls by field goals. Nobody's talking about that. So why criticize the way they won? He beat Brady twice on the biggest stage. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback when he can get there. As long as he can keep the interceptions.
But you give Flacco all kind of hell.
No, man, Flacco. I still think Flacco just has a big arm. I think he's overrated. But I think this is the year for Eli. Eli threw 30 touchdowns last year. His interceptions were like 19. Okay. He threw for over 4,400 yards last year. And he finished strong thanks to Odell Beckham Jr. I want to preface this by saying they have to be healthy. If he loses his weapons, Eli will struggle because his decision making is not that quick, especially if the O-line don't hold up.
There's different type of quarterbacks. There are quarterbacks that make anybody around them great. There's quarterbacks that, are game managers, and then there's quarterbacks that if you give them weapons, any given year they could be a top 3 quarterback. Eli is in that category. You give that man weapons, he could be a top 3 quarterback for you, and they have that. And that's the thing that's scary.
You have him 6, right?
You have him number 6.
Damn, man, that's high.
That's high.
Damn. Where'd you have him last year? I had him top 5.
I think I had him at like 7 last year.
I had him
at 7.
Jeez.
But that was coming off a horrible year.
But I was kind of like you, going off the every other year. I think if like you said, if they hold up, I think if the O-line holds up, Eli will be fine. One person that I struggle with on my list, honestly, was Peyton Manning, because I hold him in such high regard. I love watching him play. He was injured, especially down the stretch, and a lot of the stuff we didn't find out until after the season ended. But I got him at 7, man, and it was really hard to try to keep him in the top 5. I got Brees at 5, and I love Brees
I can understand because going in that probably the second half of the season, you saw Peyton Manning starting to wear down. Like it's like that age started to kind of like kick in. Like
really looked like he
man, that arm wasn't as strong as it normally be, and everything. So maybe it could be. What was the injury? I don't even remember what the injury was.
It was quad. It was lower. It was a lower extremity. But I feel you, because when I first did my list, I had Peyton at 8, and I had to revise it. And I called Ken today, and I was like, look, are you doing it based off of what they did last year or what you're projecting them to do? And he was like, a little bit of both. Using that mentality.
I went with your mentality of last year.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I went on.
So thinking like, okay, Ken's gonna do that. Let me project. If his weapons are healthy,
Right.
he's a top 5 quarterback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to your point, he laughs because that boy
He's
old.
now. He's getting up there now.
And
He old as hell.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Yeah, I think he will because they're going to run the ball a little bit more. They've said that publicly multiple times. That should keep him fresh. That's their whole goal is to keep Peyton Manning fresh. And that's why I didn't drop him, you know, because I looked at the game log and I was like, before he got hurt, he was balling. He was balling.
Was there anybody on anybody's list who you had last year that just completely fell off this year's list, if you can remember?
Cam. I had Cam in the top 10. I don't have him
in the top
this year.
10? I got Cam at 10 this year.
Okay, I know you got Kelvin Benjamin. I don't believe in Ron Rivera. I like him as a coach. I just think that his time is over there, and I don't think that he can maximize Cam and what he had. I think this is his last year. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wish nobody, you know, for them to lose their job or nothing like that, but I think this is his last year. I think he's on a hot seat, and I think they need to get a guy in there that's going to maximize Cam Newton because he is the face of the franchise. And now they're starting to add those weapons that a quarterback like him needs. So, but I think this year he doesn't maximize. But if he does, he is a top 10 quarterback.
I'm with you that they haven't maximized his abilities. He hasn't had the weapons, but they gave him Kelvin Benjamin. We saw what he can do. They got somebody else, which was big for them. But I'm thinking about just what he could do with weapons now. And when I look at the rest of the field, I didn't see anybody that I liked outside of him. So I want to see him throw more than 18.
You didn't have Matt Ryan on your list, right?
Not this year, no.
I didn't have Matt Ryan on mine.
You didn't have him. You did. You had him at 9.
Who?
Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I had him at 10.
Yeah.
Wow. Julio. And then they're in a weak division, bro.
Weak division.
You know what?
Matt Ryan's a regular season quarterback anyway. I always thought of him as
Ryan had a really good year comparatively speaking to statistically. He had a really good year. You know, but when you don't win and you win 4 games, I mean, it's like it's tough for you to crack those kind of lists.
Right, in the weak division.
Exactly.
The Carolina, they were 7-9, and they still made the playoffs. The wild card,
and really was in every game. So when you have those kind of things, I couldn't justify putting Matt Ryan in the top 10. I found it interesting that Brady was, from what I can remember, was in everybody's top 3 and top 2 last year, and now he's kind of falling off, and it has nothing to do with deflated footballs.
No, not at all.
But what you mean?
Quarterbacks is getting better.
But only Ken is the only one this year that didn't have him in the top 3. We all had him in the top 3, including Q.
I think we have him all in the top 2 last year?
I don't think so. I think
he went from 2 to 3 for
Manning
me.
and Rodgers, I think, was my top 3 last year. I always had Brees.
Brees kind of fell off a little bit too.
But it's funny, people say that, but he was tied with Ben Roethlisberger for most passing yards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I wonder if that has something to do with the fact that the team didn't win.
Yeah.
Are we looking at it like that?
Because they always down and they passing a lot and everything. Now he don't got Jimmy Graham, so it's like, I think that's why I put him at 5. I think I had him at 5 or 6.
I had him at 7.
Yeah, because he don't got.
I got Eli ahead of him.
His security blanket is out of there now, so it's like, man, that's why Russell Wilson kind of was up there, because now you got an offensive weapon in Jimmy Graham. You know, hey, they can. Russell Wilson might have a decent year, man.
849 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. He's a dual threat.
Yeah. Now you got Jimmy Graham in that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a problem.
Like if you running and you forcing that linebacker, hey, Jimmy Graham, bam.
It's pick your poison.
Yeah.
Am I gonna chase Russell out this pocket, or am I gonna keep running with
Jimmy Graham?
I gotta give Romo a shout, man.
That's what I was gonna say.
Romo, I don't even think Romo made my list.
He was nobody's top 10 last year.
Romo wasn't on my list.
He was on my list.
I didn't put him on my list.
He was like low, but he was on my list.
I mean, with what he has going with Dez and obviously Jason Witten, he's got good running backs coming out of the backfield. He doesn't obviously have DeMarco Murray, man, but last year, man, a lot of games they won it on the strength of Romo making good plays and not boneheaded passes and stuff like that.
And I remember,
I'm very, y'all know me, I'm very critical of Romo.
We argue about that.
And to be honest, I struggle. He almost got in the top 5.
Whenever you can hand the ball off to Murray and not use that and not make a lot of decisions throwing the ball, it works out.
But you know what? At the end of the day, quarterbacks have to make the decisions that win or sometimes lose games. And he made a lot of game-winning plays. I agree that having the running back
makes life easier.
Of course, but at the end of the day, is the quarterback making decisions, and that was my only gripe against Tony Romo was that when I need you to make 1 or 2 plays down the stretch to win the game, you didn't do it. He did it last year, and that's why I rewarded him with a top 5 rank this year.
But I also was trying to tell you guys that against that argument, Romo was the best quarterback in the 4th quarter, the year that you guys were criticizing him for those mistakes.
And I understand that, but at the same time, how many of those mistakes cost him games?
Right.
He could have the stats, Ken, and you had that to back you up. But at the same time, what's his win-loss record? It's like Kobe scoring 60 and them losing. What's the point?
It came to fruition, and I told you guys that. And I'm telling you right now, right here on Dead End Sports, Romo will be a top 5 QB this year. Well, he
Did anybody else have Big Ben in the top 5?
Not last year. I'd have him in my top 10 last year. He's in my he sits for me this year.
You don't think that's low? He threw for 5,000 yards last year.
They threw it a lot.
With Le'Veon Bell with the what? 14,
They threw it to Le'Veon Bell a lot.
And
he can make life easy.
He makes life a whole lot easier. But
and they're going to chunking around a lot more this year too.
You got Ben has the weapons, and we let's keep it real. For as much as they use Le'Veon Bell, Pittsburgh's a passing team.
Matthew Stafford fell out. Man. And
Matthew Stafford. He's never been a top 10 quarterback. Never been in my damn.
That's like saying Jay Cutler.
No, Stafford.
I had Stafford kind of high. Well, he didn't make my list, but he was like on the fringe last year.
Nope, he wasn't for me.
Him and Ron.
He had 45 sacks. I think that affected his numbers. That's why I struggled.
And Megatron was out of the line.
And Megatron was out. So I felt that if he would have had
Stafford's
that in a better line.
He's gotten better. What was their head coach?
Because his interceptions were down this year.
Yeah,
last year.
Caldwell had a positive impact on that whole organization.
We talked about that like the first few games.
Yeah,
he
did. And I think that again, this list is fluid. Matthew Stafford has top 10 quarterback potential. That's why he got drafted where he got drafted. The man has every tool needed to be a top 10 quarterback. Now he has the weaponry. He always had the weapon. Now he has the head coach to maximize that. So let's see if everything works out together.
He's got to do it this year.
He does.
Rodgers, Luck. Am I the only one that had Luck?
Yeah, you don't want
I had Luck at 2 and Rodgers at 1.
I had Rodgers 1, Luck at 2.
I had Luck at 3 because Tom Brady's still Tom Brady. Right? It don't matter what you give him.
But he was off and on last year.
Here's the thing, though.
I know he won the Super Bowl, but.
And that's kind of funny to say. Like, I know he won the Super Bowl, but I feel
if you remember the games, you look at the logs.
But you know what? Look, I have to put Andrew Luck in the top 3, but he still has to make that last leap.
Damn.
This year is that leap. Get into the Super Bowl. He's made it to every.
So you're saying he has to go to the Super Bowl?
For him to be top 2 quarterback, for me to
Andrew
Luck?
Luck? Wow.
Over Tom Brady that just won the Super Bowl?
Look what he's doing with what he got, though. Like, Andrew Luck.
But Luck got weapons, though. He got more weapons now.
He got Andre Johnson.
Now he has what he needs to get him over the top. Yeah. But he already had weapons, and he maximized that. But now he just got to get over that hump for me.
Can we say that Luck is a guy that you just said maximizes his weapons? Isn't he the type of quarterback you think can win without weapons? Kind of like Tom Brady?
I think he can, but I think that's a lot asking for such a young quarterback. He's only been in the league 4 years.
Yes.
That's too much right now. Even Peyton couldn't do it by himself early on.
But he made his receivers better.
And I understand that, but he also had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and Edgerrin James in that backfield.
You talking about Brady made it.
He said Peyton. Yeah. Brady has always had the... Brady's best year was when he had Moss.
Right, exactly. But what I'm saying is Peyton had to grow into that. Andrew Luck is that type of quarterback, but he has to grow into that too, bro. It's too young for him to do that right now.
I think this the year.
I know, I'm with you.
They have a soft division too. Yeah. They got a chance.
With that division.
AFC is really not that deep. Like,
it's not.
Like,
it's
really
top heavy.
Yeah, it's like once you go with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Patriots, Colts.
It's like the Dolphins is the next tier.
Yeah, like Dolphins, Cincinnati.
But the Dolphins gonna have a nasty defense. Let's just be honest.
They are. I heard they're gonna have.
Let's just be honest.
What about Andy Dalton, man? No love for Andy Dalton.
Last year?
Did it damn well. I didn't have any thoughts.
But you had him like right at the
Come on, B. You know I have.
It was number 11.
Yeah,
They had it at number 11.
I think the person I didn't have in my top 10 this year that I was high on last year and I didn't have him was Phillip Rivers. I think he dropped out.
Yeah.
He dropped out my top 10 this year. I think I had him. Can't remember what number, but he was like
And he
maybe 8
had
or
a
7.
pretty decent year last year.
Yeah, but I always just say whenever he's on, he can be top 3. But when he's awful, he is god awful.
It would be hard to put him in the top 10 this year, especially with them losing Antonio Gates for the first 4 games. I mean, and the Chargers one of those teams that traditionally starts off slow for some reason, and then they always come on strong at the end in the AFC West. So I couldn't put him in the top 10.
Let me ask y'all this before we close out. What about the young guns? I know it's top 10, but what about the Blake Bortles, the Derek Carrs? Because I like Derek Carr, man.
I like Blake Bortles.
And I like what the Raiders are doing. I like Amari Cooper. That like they starting to build something over there in Oakland.
I like Blake Bortles.
I do too.
I like him.
I do too.
I think if Jacksonville was smart, they put the right weapons around him, man. I think Blake Bortles he'd be like another kind of like a Andrew Luck up and coming because he got the tools. He got everything.
Winston Mariota. What do they do?
I think Winston has a great year.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. You heard our 10. Tweet us your 10 or leave your 10 in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. If you disagree, come at us. We out.